Stewart and Chris Stapleton. We've been in kind of this internet marketing space. For those of you that aren't familiar with our story, I'm sure some of you are. How many of you guys saw Stapes and I speak at the Freedom Air event in March? Say me in the comments if you watched that. Many of you were there, but some of you might be brand new. So I'll kind of tee up our story for a second, then again right into value. But we've been in this game for like a decade each. We both got our start in companies very, very similar to Freedom Air. We both got our start in kind of the network marketing world. When I was 16, I had a teacher. His name was Mr. Gear, and he had a friend that was making like 6 figures a year selling stuff on eBay. This is like 15 years ago. Making $100,000 a year selling stuff on eBay. And I heard that, and that was the first time in my life I'd ever heard of like somebody making money without a job. And I was like, that's what I want to do. So I tried out, some like eBay stuff when I was like 16, 17 years old. And then that's kind of what led me into entrepreneurship, into the network marketing industry. Both Stapes and myself, we both kind of struggled and paid our dues in this industry for the first 5 years or so. How many of you guys are kind of in like the due paying phase of your business? Say I in the comments, that's you, to where you haven't had your breakthrough yet, but like you're on your way to it. You know what I mean? And that's just part of this game, I mean, if you look at Stapes and I, and many of you on the line, like we didn't come from big time entrepreneurial families. You know what I mean? Like we didn't come, like our parents weren't CEOs of companies. And so when we were starting in like network marketing, we were really learning business for the first time ever. So, for those of you that haven't gotten to the place that you want to be yet, don't be hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Don't be hard on yourself. It's just that you haven't learned yet the skills required to get the results you want yet, but you can. You know what I mean? Like, again, Stapes and I think the purpose of tonight's call is a couple fold. I think it's first just to simply inspire you that like you can do it. You know what I mean? Because I know that for a lot of us, it's like, you see how many of you guys like get this? Like you see other people winning, whether it's in Freedom Area or whether it's in, coaching, consulting, internet marketing, whatever it is. You see other people winning, but it's like, can that be me? And you almost have like this self-lingering doubt inside that it's like, it can work. The question is like, can it work for me? How many of you guys feel that? Say yes in the comments if you've ever experienced that. I know that was what went through Stapes and I's head a million times for our first 5 years online.
And especially over the last couple of years with social media, it just seems like everybody's an internet millionaire. Everybody's crushing it and killing it. And really understanding that everyone has their time. There's patience that comes with this game at a high level. Me and Landon were patient enough to stay in the game long enough to figure out how to make all this work. So I love starting with this because, we've been in this game for a minute. We have a lot of experience in network marketing, around leadership, around building sales organizations, but it all came with patience, came with staying in the game long enough and learning the right skill sets, which we're going to be covering some of those tonight,
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Again, I mean, if you look at it, if you compare it to, any other industry, if you compare it to becoming a doctor, like doctors go to school for years before they start practicing as a doctor. You know what I mean? Whereas in the network marketing industry, there's a low barrier to entry, correct? So like we can just hop right in with no training or schooling, provided a lot of times in the industry. Not here with Freedom Air. There's a lot of training provided, which is amazing. But like none required to get in. And so we're just starting in the game, so green, so fresh to the skills required. And so again, if you're not where you want to be yet, it's okay. Like, don't beat yourself up over it. It's a natural part of the journey. You know what I mean? And a lot of times the people that you see who crush it quickly, which is amazing when that happens, a lot of times those folks, like they come in with some level of business experience already. And eventually that can be you. You know what I mean? Like eventually, once you know how to do it, your results can really quantum leap forward and things can start to happen pretty fast. So tonight's going to be a few phases. Okay. Phase one is kind of this piece right now. It's kind of like the inspiration piece. We want to inspire you. We understand that there's people on the line and all sorts of different phases in the business. Some of you guys are already doing 6 figures a year plus. here with Freedom Air. That's freaking amazing. What we have for you tonight, you're going to absolutely love it. And it's going to help you go to the even next level. Some of you here are brand new. Others of you, you might be in that kind of like middle ground phase, maybe struggling for a little bit. So there's a lot of people in different areas. I'm just curious where everyone's at on the line. Go into the comments and just share, what's your current revenue been in Freedom Era so far? I'm just curious. You can go to the comments. You can share it. I don't care if it's zero. I don't care if it's $1 million. I'm just kind of curious to see what the experience level is of the folks on the line. And we'll make sure that we gear tonight's training towards you. You know what I mean? And kind of help you get the breakthrough that you want. So we'll have kind of this inspirational piece. From there, we'll spend about 50 minutes, right? We've got 6:10 our time here. I think it's 11:10 your time for many of you. We'll spend the next 50 minutes or so really breaking down our Facebook group methodology that we've used this year to do a few million dollars in revenue. So we'll break down the methodology. We'll show you our group. We'll show you how it works. And then, in about 50 minutes, we'll do like 15 minutes of Q&A. And we'll make sure to answer your guys' questions, see if we can help out, okay? Some of tonight, if you're more advanced, will be very, very simple and might be things that you've heard in the past. Some of tonight is going to be very advanced. And so if you're newer here, there might be some pieces of tonight's call that might go over your head a little bit. And that's really what shows that you're in the right room. You know what I mean? Like if you fully understand every single word that we say here tonight, why would you even need us? You know what I mean? Like what use would we even have for your business if you already knew everything we're going to teach you? So some of tonight might go over your head a little bit, and that's okay. That shows that you're in the right room. Is that fair for everyone on the line that we go over some of the basics of marketing in general? And then we also go over some advanced tactics that you guys can really take and get great results. How many of you guys are utilizing your own Facebook group for your marketing? Drop a comment. I'm just curious. Say me in the comments if you're using your own group. So not like someone else's Facebook group, but like you've got your own group. A few of you have Facebook groups. This is going to be super useful to you guys because this is really what it's about. If I look at, I'll start here. And Stapes, I'd love your perspective on this as well. Like I'll talk to you guys, about business in general for a minute, and then we'll talk Facebook groups. So we'll start with like principles, and then we'll break it down into like tactics. You know what I mean? Like if you're watching this, how many of you guys want to do like 6-7 figures a year as like an entrepreneur, as an internet marketer? Say, yeah, we've already got me's. How many of you guys want to do that? Okay. So to accomplish that, which is doable, this year, Stapes and we have a little company. We'll do about $3.3 million in revenue this year. You know what I mean? Yeah, cash this year, which is really, really cool, and so it's possible. And we're just one of like many, you know what I mean? That's not even like special. It's not even like a lot. We're one of many multi-million-dollar internet marketing companies out there. And that can be you. And so if that's something that you want, there's really two things you've got to master. And again, for those of you who are a little bit more advanced, you've heard this probably a million times, but I'm going to reiterate it so that you really get it. But there's two things that you've really, really got to master to have the ability to do that as an internet marketer. And that's sales and marketing, right? Sales and marketing. You've got to have the ability. And I'll kind of define sales and marketing as these two things. So I see marketing as two things. Marketing is the ability to generate a lead and get that lead to like you. That's all marketing is. It's the ability to generate a lead. So it's the ability to get a name and email address, you know what I mean, through advertising, whether that's organic or paid advertising. But it's the ability to generate a lead and the ability to get that lead to like you. That's what marketing does. And if you want to make it as an internet marketer, you've got to get really, really good at marketing. You got to get good at generating leads and getting those leads to like you. If you look at our business today, this month we'll do around $500,000 in revenue, just this month alone. How are we able to do that? Well, every day we generate 250 to 300 leads. Every day, weekends included. This month alone, we'll generate 8,000 to 10,000 leads for our business. So some of you watching a big piece of your breakthrough is going to be really getting good at marketing. And so, of course, there's a lot of resources inside of Freedom Era. There's a lot of great books, mentors that you can study. But you've got to be able to get good at attracting attention, which is really generating that lead, and then getting that lead to like you through your content. And we're going to display some tactics on how you can do that here in a second. And then sales, right? Which is sales is the ability to convert that lead into a client, right? So you have marketing, getting leads, getting those leads to like you, and then you've got sales, which is the conversion side. Now, luckily here with Freedom Era, you have a lot of support when it comes to the sales side because you've got sales funnels that are built for you. They have people that help you close sales and things like that. So you've got a lot of support there, but at the same time, it's also a skill that if you want to really do 6-7 figures a year, you've got to get really good at. You've got to get really good at selling. So you've got to get really good at sales and marketing. So what we're going to show you here tonight is a Facebook group, okay, and a strategy behind that. Our Facebook group this year, again, we've done about $3 million. The Facebook group is the tactic, right? The Facebook group is the strategy, and we're going to lay the strategy out for you here in a minute. But I don't want you to lose sight of the overarching principles, because the principles that we're building our Facebook group on, right? Because Facebook groups, it's a fad, you know what I mean? It could come, it could go. And we're not attached either way, right? It's what we're using right now as our marketing strategy. Stapes and I were online a decade ago when the big strategy at the time was Google PPC. Today, internet marketers in this niche aren't even allowed to do Google PPC. So we understand that strategies and tactics change over time. But the strategy we're going to be teaching you tonight when it comes to Facebook groups, it's built on the back of 100-year-old sales and marketing principle. Does this make sense?
I'm glad you said, dude, what a great tee up, man. Because tying back to marketing, right? Getting a lead, generating a lead, and getting that lead to like you is going to tie very directly into what we're doing with Facebook groups. Right now, it's a special time in history to where the industry has shifted, the marketing has shifted, and you're probably starting to see it all over the internet to where groups are going to become an asset for affiliate marketers over the next 2 to 3 years, where it'll almost become non-negotiable. Like you're either crushing it with a group or like, what are you doing? Because the market has shifted. And right now it's one of the easiest times in history, really, to build a bond with an audience in a transparent setting around a community that displays your value, that displays your authority, that builds a bond with your audience that an email list just can't do, that an automated webinar just can't do. So we're going to talk about that. And I'm glad you mentioned it too, Landon, because like you said, the Facebook group's built on top of the principles of sales and marketing that are designed to convert a lead into a happy paying client. And we've got, a couple people on the line that do have their own groups. A lot of people also just starting from scratch. I thought I saw Kylie in the comments. She's about 20 grand a month. She said, thanks to you guys, which is awesome to see. But also a lot of people just starting off looking for their first batch of sales. So we're going to touch a few people. I know there's a few 6As on the line, a few 5As on the line. And we're going to display what we've able to do with groups over the last 2 months, not only with us, but for like hundreds of our clients that are absolutely crushing it. So this works if you're willing to stay patient, stay in the game, and really follow principles. Okay.
Love it, dude. Final thing that I'll layer in, and then I'm going to share my screen and we're going to show you guys some things. Final thing that I'm going to layer in is, again, so we teed it up with principles, right? So the principles are sales and marketing. The strategy / tactic is Facebook groups. The principles that we're going to be walking you here through tonight are applicable amongst almost any strategy or tactic, meaning you can take what we teach you here that's applicable to Facebook groups, but the principles you can also directly apply to email marketing for those of you that have an email list, to your Facebook advertising for those of you running paid ads, to videos that you shoot. Many of the principles we're going to discuss here today are applicable whether you decide to use a Facebook group for your business or not. I would say for most of you on the line, Stapes and I might be a little biased, but I'd say for most of you on the line that Facebook groups are an amazing strategy and they're an amazing way to grow your business, really showcase your authority. If you look at the network marketing model. So this business, the thing that's important for you to understand is that people don't join the business. People join the people that are building the business, meaning that this model, it's not about the products you sell. That's a piece of it for sure. It is like you want to have and recommend good products, especially as an affiliate. But it's not about the products at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's about you, because people work with people in this industry. You know what I mean? It's not like they're at the store buying a pack of gum. They're dropping, high dollars, high ticket, and high ticket is about you. We had, Stapes and I, we did a poll at an event that we hosted. This would have been like 3 or 4 years ago now, but the principle still applies to this day when it comes to this industry. So we did a poll. We had about 50 clients in a room that were all high ticket clients, 5K plus clients in a network marketing business model, very similar to this one. And we went around the room and we asked every single person in the room, why did you decide to buy? Okay. Why did you decide to buy? What do you guys think how do you guys think people answered that question? Go into the comments to share some of your guesses. How do you guys think that people answered that question? Why did every single person there decide to buy? I don't see any guesses yet. Drop a guess, guys. Why did they buy?
Just now, there was a pretty big hint into that.
That's it. And you guys are nailing it. Every single person, they didn't say the funnel. They didn't say the products. Every single person named another person.
Yes, it was all different names.
Okay. Every single person named a person, right? They bought because of a person. And so what's really great about a Facebook group when you look at this business model is a Facebook group allows you the ability to really showcase your authority and really get people to like you. You know what I mean? Because really at the end of the day, that's going to be, so Stapes and I, we have experience in this today when we talk about the 3 million we've done this year. That's not done in a network marketing business model. That's done in a coaching business model. We're coaches, high ticket coaches, 10,000 plus to work with us. So that's where that revenue comes from this year. But we've both made multiple 6 figures plus in commissions to personally in the network marketing models. And we've consulted with some of the larger network marketing companies on sales and marketing. Okay. So we're very familiar with this business model. And so, what a group allows you to do is really showcase who you are. It's the ability to take someone that doesn't know you that well and get them looking at Allison, Amanda, Andrea, Annie. I'm rattling off some names here, but looking at you like this person is a leader. I want to work with this person no matter what I don't even care what the business is. I don't care what the product is. Not to say the product isn't important. I want everyone to understand that the product it matters. But they care less about that than the person. And Facebook groups allow you the ability to showcase who you are. And so
one thing I want to layer on, man, is that in this space, in network marketing and affiliate marketing, people want to work with people in the white hot center of activity, right? And how do you do that? You become a leader. You lead people. And with groups, it's one of the fastest shortcuts to leadership, because I feel like many of you on the line, and you let me know, but like you have a vision in your mind of leading a sales organization, right? Leading a team as a 6A, leading an organization. And one of the fastest shortcuts before you lead an organization is leading a community of free members, right? So what happens with a lot of people that jump into groups, they're able to shortcut that time span between leading an organization in the future and start leading a free group of people, a free community of people that are interested in products, interested in making money online, and start there. And all of a sudden you'll start to see the results stack, because people will automatically see you as a leader when you're running, we're going to walk you through our strategic content, when you have a live stream every week, when you're answering questions, when you're providing value in a community. It's almost like they're in your ecosystem of leadership automatically before they even sign the dotted line on your affiliate program. Okay. So that's one of the things that I want. And again, we're leaning into some context here because we want to shift your beliefs on what Facebook groups are, what they can do for you, and how it all ties back to, again, the core principles of sales and marketing. But now we're talking about leadership, and a lot of the things we're going to discuss tonight are you leading the charge. And it's a
100%.
fantastic stomping ground to sharpen your skill sets, you know?